Hey everybody, welcome back to Cookie Gaming. Today we're playing some more Disco Elysium. Now last time was a really fascinating episode. We talked a lot to Joyce and Evrart. We found out there was a lot more to Joyce than she had initially told us. We also uncovered the entirety of Evrart's plan, and he actually did help us reclaim our gun, which we now have in our possession. Is that good or bad? Well, who knows, right? But I think we've brought our quest line with Evrart to a close, at least for now. Maybe there will be more down the line, but what I'm looking to do in this episode is to finish up, or at least continue, our communist quest line. I think that's the last thing we have to do before we continue our main storyline, is to try and achieve our goal of rebuilding communism. You know, maybe a bit of a big goal, but we're ambitious, right? So we have to go to our little communist book club we have stationed in the apartment building. Alright. Oh. Do I have something over there? Huh. I feel like I must have been in here before, but maybe not. But something just caught my attention, as it sometimes does. Oh, interesting. Psychological realism. Maybe we'll give that a read. Like we've got a little thought bubble over here. Oh. I guess I haven't been in here before.
A shift in temperature. The air chills around you. Dust settles on the stony floor.
I love a good shivers check. Let's rub our sides for warmth.
A former architect stands before a slice of window, a room plan in her hand. A cold wave has made the air in the building stand still and frozen, with temperatures falling down to minus 20 degrees Celsius.
Wow. The plan.
Faint pencil lines on paper depict the same place, but a missing eastern wall connects the room with the neighboring apartment. Ideas for arranging the furniture have been jotted down.
Her face
is red from the cold. She's breathing on her fingers, clasping the plan. Traces of sadness are visible in her expression.
Interesting. Let's look around.
It's clean and empty, with new tapestry embellishing the walls. A standard HB graphite pencil has fallen off a three-legged stool in the middle of the room. She had an eye for beauty.
Shiver. How appropriate. Very interesting. Do you have anything else in here? Maybe I'll equip a flashlight. Oh, hello.
What happened here?
One last thought. Or one more thought, I should say. Hopefully not our last thought. You can't foreclose on an apartment with a hole in the wall.
It will still be accessible through the apartment next to it. That one didn't have a door. Sadly, nothing of great value remains here.
There's always a little something in the fridge.
Indeed.
Beautiful. Oh, we can't get anything? Alright, here, let me see if I can use my flashlight in here. You may want to unequip the bag at some point. Just, I've collected a lot of bottles, and maybe most of them we're gonna find. I guess we'll see if we happen upon any new round swells, but I doubt so. Okay. We'll keep our bag equipped in the meantime. Interesting. I guess we hadn't looked around that room before. There's always something I've missed, or something a little extra we haven't gone over yet. Okay, let's go up to our communist meeting. Hey, Cindy. I would say our first meeting between these two didn't go super smoothly, but we're in, and that's what matters.
You're back.
Okay, great. I'm ready. Let's talk about inframaterialism.
Yes. Let's get right to it.
His companion leans forward, ready to jump in.
Yeah, what was his name? Ulixes or something?
These two are full of interesting stories and rumors about Nielsen, Mazov, and their revolutionary exploits. Half an hour passes, and the conversation gradually wends its way to some unexpected places.
I just love that I've still got Kim here for this. It's almost midnight, I've dragged him along to my communist book club with these two people that I don't think either of us like very much.
A cool breeze coming off the bay wraps itself around the Capeside apartments in a nearly forgotten part of that glorified construction site, surrounded by rusted pieces of scaffolding and walls of faded tarpaulin. A detective of the RCM debates the intricacies of an abstruse theory with a pair of university students.
This is definitely the best way to be using our time. Though, at this point, what else would we do but go to bed, right?
But my question is, where does the RCM recruit all these hyper-revolutionaries to join this remote viewers division?
Oh man, great. So we've got them on our page. Okay. It's less, this is true to us, it's less that you're recruited into the RVD and more like you're called.
Fascinating.
I can't believe it. I guess their ideology was maybe not the most grounded in the first place, so us bringing some of our ideas in, you know, maybe they fit quite well.
Yes. Only the detective here would draw a connection between a made-up division of parapsychics
Yep.
and the adult ramblings of a defunct communist mage.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I suppose it makes sense that some common strain of inframaterialist thought would persist in the RCM, even to this day, given its origins.
Ooh, that's an interesting idea. I will say, before we really get into it, we, of course, did a bit of reading about inframaterialism, which is one of these sort of, I compared it to some of these early Soviet-era theories that really got quite far away from, I'd say, materialism, and became, you know, a little less grounded, a little less scientific, quite paranatural in their thinking about what socialism or communism or whatever, what impact it would and could have on the world. And so you are dabbling with some of these more mystical type ideas, which, hey, our version of Harry is all about.
Now the breeze has subsided. All is still except for the last bits of steam rising from the coffee pot.
Well, on that note, I think we can call it an evening.
No.
No, wait. Can this really be the end? You feel like you've just gotten to the real stuff.
Yeah, also, I can't spend another day just fumbling around, doing nothing, to wait for you two guys to show up at night. Come on, give me more.
Yes. One of our better discussions lately, on the whole.
Hang on, is that it?
What do you mean, is that it? You've done the reading, we talked about it. What more do you expect from a reading group?
Well, I just thought there might be more.
More what?
I don't know, more something?
It seems like there's something on your mind. Maybe a question you mean to ask?
Well, I'm sort of here to, like, build communism, and all we're doing is reading abstract tracts and books and debating them. I'm not really sure we're getting anywhere. You know, Evrart, whatever you think about Evrart, has done a lot more actual change for the cause in the real world.
We probably won't get a better chance. Honestly.
But it's getting late, so maybe pick the most important question.
Jesus. Man, that's a tough check, eh? 8%. And my rhetoric's pretty high. And I'm haunted by lost love. Wow, so I can't fully devote myself to the cause, perhaps. Kim, what should I ask?
Detective, how should I know what questions you have about communism?
Can I have a moment to think about it?
Come on. We have things to do in the morning.
Damn it. Should I? Is this? You know what? Why not? I've got a lot of skill points. Let's use one of them. Helps a bit. This will still be a tough check, but I'll try it.
Alright, here we go. We're devoting all your available brain cells to coming up with a question about communism. Scratch that. To coming up with the question about communism. The alpha and omega of communism questions. And that question is...
That's bad. Surely I can think of something better.
maybe in another life, but not this one. Face it, this is the question that's been simmering inside you all along.
Great. So this is because we are so tied up in the failure of our past relationship, we can't get over it. Everything goes back to that.
No, no, no. This was supposed to take your mind off the other thing.
I was really getting into the theory back there.
Sure, you spent some time getting lost in your theoretical labyrinths, but this has been the beast at the center this whole time.
Well, I might as well share. So guys, I was just wondering, are women bourgeois?
The young man gives you a slightly confused look, as though he's sure you asked something else and he simply misheard.
No, you heard me right. I asked the stupidest question I could have.
No, he heard you crystal clear. Somehow, it sounded even worse out loud.
He wants to know if women are bourgeois, Stepan.
Yes, I heard him. Give me a moment. What makes you ask that question above any other?
I mean, you don't really want to know. I don't know if they can handle me. I don't think I can handle them either. We've got a lot of issues here. Maybe it's this, because they won't let me forget the life we used to have together. Jesus, Harry.
Ah, gendarme. Your problem isn't ideological, it's personal.
Unfortunately, Steban, I think you're right. We've sort of been scratching at this throughout the series, where us, through Harry here, we get invested in these different ideologies, get invested in communism, the paranatural, all this sort of stuff, but it all ties back to our personal issues. Maybe there's sort of a poignant statement there about how we're all really trying to sort of exercise our personal problems through whatever ideologies we're taking up. That may not be entirely true. That might be reductionist a little bit, but it is true that oftentimes you should be looking inwards rather than outwards, and you might find the answers. That's definitely the case for Harry here.
You ask that question because you're still under the influence of ideology. That's natural. You're like a fish that's only now discovering that her whole life has been dictated by the movements of sea currents. That's what ideology is. It's like there are these invisible forces everywhere, pushing and tugging you this way and that, and you don't even know they're there.
That is true, I would say. You guys are definitely under the influence of ideology, but I am as well. Interesting. Is it even possible to imagine a world without ideology?
Of course it's possible. Just extremely difficult. You practically have to be a world historical individual to do it.
I mean, I would say, and not to burst any utopian socialist bubbles, but to be honest, a world without ideology is a world without people, without human beings. That's how I view it, at least. As long as we have people around, we're gonna have ideology. Maybe in different forms, but I do not believe that, and who knows, maybe one day we will land on some sort of utopia, but I don't think that we're ever gonna end up at a place where we have people living their lives, but no ideology. Doesn't seem realistic to me. But, what do I know, right?
Do you know the story of Dobrova and Abadanais?
Well, it's the passcode. I thought it was just some gibberish you made up for the passphrase.
No. They were the revolutionary lovers. The dual commissars of revolution in Insulinda. Yulia Dobrova came from Grad. Jean Abadanais was born in Revachol. She was brilliant, charismatic, a revolutionary comet. He was her partner and stabilizer, the planet who kept her in orbit.
Okay. Classic combination. She was out of this world. She would go far, and he kept her grounded. Makes sense?
What became of them, though? There seems to be a blank paragraph in the history books.
It's from them we get the notion of dual leadership, the Decomptage, Revachol's truly great contribution to revolutionary thought. I believe it even persists in some form in the RCM, even to this day.
Interesting. The notion of dual leadership. Huh. Very interesting. So, what happened to them?
They died on their own terms, like real revolutionaries. There's a lot to say for that.
Is that true, Kim, about the Decomptage?
I had no idea its origins went all the way back to the revolution itself. But it makes sense, in a way.
Hey, even Kim's learning something. And also, it seems like most part of our lives go back to the revolution. Right? I think I've said before that really this world that we're in, or at least Revachol, which is the world we know, we are essentially in a post-revolutionary era. The revolution, in many ways, is our year zero. Everything goes back to that. We are living in the aftermath of a world historical event. Really, everything around us is just a reference back to that event. Right? So, it's not surprising. Back to this. So you're saying women are only bourgeois because of ideology?
There's more to it than that. People still make their own choices. It's a matter of being aware of what's influencing them.
That's true. I think that's very sort of Marxist, but I mean an idea that Marx would very much believe, right? There's this, I might have mentioned this before in the series, but there's a quote from Marx that I don't have memorized word by word, but what he essentially says is that, we are born into particular historical circumstances. We do not control those circumstances. However, within those circumstances, we can make our own decisions, right? So what that means, because people often accuse Marxists, especially Orthodox Marxists, of being very determinist. They say, well, you've got this whole system worked out. There's no space for free will or people making decisions. But Marx himself would disagree with that. He says, no, people can make their own decisions, but we're all born into a particular context. We all exist within a context. You can't escape that. You're influenced by that. Your decisions will be based on that, right? And that's sort of in many ways what Stuban is saying here. Yeah, this is the question. So what does that question say about me?
Yes, that's the question you should be asking yourself.
I think you're right.
His companion nods, but offers no further solace.
Alright, well, I think I need to take some time to think about all this.
The young man nods, but says nothing. He appears to be distracted by something. He's wrestling with some question of his own.
Maybe a personal issue of his own.
He's lost in his own thoughts. You wonder what silt you've stirred in the bottom of his soul.
Well, I guess we're off.
Wait a minute, if you don't mind.
Yes.
We wanted to get your opinion on something. A few little changes we've been thinking about.
Hey, we're really part of the club now. Sure. What kind of changes?
Nothing too major, I think. We were talking potentially about relaxing some parts of our admissions process.
I think that's not a bad idea. Me in a coffee house. Yeah, probably would help if you did make people go through a whole interview just to join, especially because, guys, let's be honest, you're not Lenin. You know what I mean? You're not forming this revolutionary core of hardened revolutionaries who are going to take down the government. This is a reading group, I'm not really sure you need the vetting process to keep it what it already is.
That's interesting. I saw people loved group interviews.
I thought so too, but perhaps we overdid it, just a little.
Yeah, maybe so.
There was another thing. We were also debating putting up some posters around town.
Interesting. A little bit of open political advocacy. I'm not opposed to that. Though, it's unclear to me what sort of political freedoms we have under the coalition. I mean, I know we don't govern ourselves. We don't have democracy. I don't know to what extent we're allowed to express political opinions, free speech, things like that. I'd imagine there's a sort of a taboo surrounding communism after the revolution, but who knows?
Though some of us maintain that advertising is an unacceptably bourgeois tactic.
Okay, brother, it's not, advertising, sure, but you're just spreading the word. People have been doing that for thousands and thousands of years.
That's what makes it so beautiful. The irony is unbeatable. As a noted art cop, you definitely have an opinion on this.
No, I think, there's a sort of phenomenon among even who, I guess people who are interested in this sort of thing, academics, students, communists, where they'll take a lot of things and be like, well, that's a bourgeois tactic, or that's bourgeois, when what they're talking about is something that humans have done for thousands and thousands of years. And yes, we do it under capitalism, Well, we also did it before capitalism, you know? There are certain parts of our life that have been, in some ways, the same for a long, long time. Now, other parts of our life have been different, I acknowledge that. But just because something is done under capitalism doesn't mean it's necessarily, you know, bourgeois in nature, right? Anyway. I like that. Think of it this way. You're appropriating bourgeois methods for revolutionary ends.
Oh, I like that. We're dismantling the structures of capital with our own tools.
Just hit midnight, by the way.
It does sound pretty cool when you describe it like that.
That's right.
Plus, I've got the perfect place in mind.
Oh.
Put some more coffee on, Uli. We've got a long night ahead of us.
Yeah.
We should probably get Cindy in here too.
Good idea. Alright, I'm glad it's not over yet.
Oh, and gendarme.
Oh.
One last thing.
Maybe it is over for me.
I've been thinking about what you asked before. About women, you know?
Uh-huh.
Not that it's any of my business. But it sounds like this question is really tearing you up inside.
It really is.
You're holding it together, somehow, despite everything.
I mean, look, I think, you know, myself and Harry here, we've done an admirable job of holding him together through all of this, but we're definitely getting torn up on the inside, alright? This question of ours, you know, our pain, our trauma, whatever you want to call it, it's really doing quite a number on us, and I don't know if we even can work through it. It seems pretty foundational to where we are in life right now, but yeah, it's doing a lot of damage.
So, good luck with that, I guess.
Okay, well that wasn't really helpful. Alright, is that it for
The
tonight?
gendarme returns.
Yeah, it is. Alright, I think it's bedtime then. Any updates? Huh. Alright. Well, we'll go to bed. We'll see if we have any updates in the morning. Maybe they put up some posters. Hey, Cindy?
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Not really. Alright, well, we'll see if we can do anything in the morning. Maybe we'll have to wait through the entire day to see if there's another communist meeting at night. I'd rather not, but I'll do that if we need to. Although, I'm continually nervous about when everything's gonna explode into violence. It's been, you know, communicated to us that we have, or had a couple of days, but I don't really know what kind of timer we're actually on. So it makes me a little nervous. Anyway. Let's go back to our nice shack. Oh, hey, what's that? You can always draw me in by a new thought bubble. Oh, yeah. It's Lillian and her kids, I believe. Alright, nighty-night, Kim.
It's getting cold, this late in the night. Time to call it a day.
Good night, Kim.
Good night, officer. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
Alrighty, time to sleep.
The bed is comforting, if a bit run down. Still, you've earned a rest.
I'm sure we won't have any disturbing nightmares or dreams. Or visions? Who knows what they are.
The place feels almost like home now. Quiet and dignified around you. A new life by the seaside. You're incredibly tired. The darkness and warmth come fast. You're falling asleep.
This place isn't so bad.
It's easier this time. Drifting off,
Hmm.
your head has found a comfortable indent in the pillow. Your legs and your torso feel like lead weights sinking to the bottom of the sea. Until there's suddenly light.
Okay.
This respite. You've earned it, brother. Bask in the darkness. Let it swallow you up and swivel you around while you forget everything you've managed to remember.
Yeah, I sometimes wonder if we're doing more harm to Harry by having him remember all of this, you know? And of course, the initial question of why did this amnesia situation happen? Was it really just due to his drinking, or was it something deeper? You know? Should he have forgotten everything? You know what I mean? Would he have been better off? Are we doing more damage by piecing his life back together? Or are we trying to soldier through, reconstructing his life, trying to build him back up and restore him? I don't know, you know? I can't say. But my unending curiosity is always going to lead me to try and figure out more and more and more. So, unfortunately, whether, or maybe not, unfortunately, but whether that's good or bad, that's what we're going to do. Is this the last dream?
No, this is the one before that. We'll just keep cycling it for you if you don't mind. As long as we can. Spin it like black yarn.
I think that's the developers talking to me.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
The one before the last. Okay. Well, thank you, Darkness. Thank you.
You're welcome, Harry boy. You earned it.
Fall into a deep, uninterrupted sleep.
After centuries of darkness, the alarm rings. But what's this? You actually feel rested. There's no time to cuddle with your pillow, however, or as much as shiver from the cold. The world awaits.
Okay then, so a decent night's sleep.
Go.
Rare, or it has been rare, but maybe now we've reached a good new spot where we can sleep somewhat normally. Alright, come on, Harry. Come on, there you go, you can get up. You know, he's got them old knees. Oh man, alrighty, let's go. Alrighty. Morning, Kim. So we will head back into town and see if any evidence of those posters put up or anything. And if there's anything else to do with this quest. Let's see. Oh. Is that them? Wait a minute, what's going on with the statue over there? Oh yeah. I think that might be those posters they were working on. That's not quite what I expected, I have to say. Let's see. Can we interact with them?
The old king and his horse have been covered in posters with radical slogans like "No kings, no bosses," and "Again and once more after that." At the bottom of the posters, in smaller lettering, are details about meeting at a local coffee house.
There you go.
Looks like the students took your advice to heart, Detective.
Alright, I think that might be it then. Meeting a local coffee house. Yeah, I think we completed the quest. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it was up there. Okay, I think that's the end of our communist quest line. Alright. Interesting. I thought there might be a more bombastic sort of end, but definitely interesting to play through. Give me an opportunity to speak about some interesting political issues, I'll put it that way. Okay. So, let's go back to Feld Electrical. I think it's time. I believe I've finished up all the sort of side content I wanted to do. Although, really, in this game, what is the side and what is the main content? No one can truly say. I think I did all the extra stuff I wanted to do. Now, we can go and try and find Ruby. I mean, that's the real goal we've been looking after this whole time. See if this fella has anything else to say.
Hello. Isn't this a fine morning?
It does, actually. Interesting. You have any advice on how to climb that ladder?
How to climb that ladder, you see? I do know that Lomantangs used sticks to climb battlements. There's even a special technique for that.
Yeah, something tells me I'm not gonna climb the ladder with Lomantang sticks.
Then there's also the method of climbing that the ancient Ilmarans used to get into the huts of their enemies.
Yeah, okay, but we're not really dealing with huts here, are we?
From an evolutionary point of view, you could see this building as a logical conclusion to the more traditional hut.
Okay, Trant, you know that's not what I meant.
In this case, I suggest looking into the Zeolite Invisibles class. The word refers to their remarkable ability to traverse any environment in the most efficient way possible. There's this excellent investigative piece of journalism by...
A classic academic moment. I was asking for some practical advice on how to climb a damn ladder, and my man went into a whole spiel about different methods of climbing throughout history. Look, I don't have time to read any papers. Do you have any practical advice? Probably not.
Yes, I have. There was this one time where I...
Oh no, you've made El Bigo Mistako.
Great.
He's going to go on forever. Mark my words. All of this somehow ties into the history of Occidental financial markets.
Yeah, apparently. There's no way this is going to be useful either, but do you know of an alternate way into the building?
Alternative? I don't even have a mainstream way in, I'm afraid, although... There's a sewage pipe there. Maybe that does something? Sorry, I can't help more.
Well, at least that's a little helpful.
Pipes can be broken with force.
Okay, so that's the pipe and that's the ladder. Let's take a look at the pipe first, because I feel like falling off a ladder is something we could absolutely do. So I don't want to crawl through sewage.
An old pipe peeks out from beneath the rotting boards of the boardwalk. Could this be an alternative path into the Feld building?
Let's take a look, I guess.
Your eyes slowly begin to adjust to the darkness inside the drainage pipe. The lieutenant looks over your shoulder.
What's in there?
An ordinary drainage pipe. Darkness.
Okay, what else?
As your eyes adjust, you see some trash. Crumpled up newspapers, cigarette butts. Someone has half-heartedly spray-painted skulls on the right side.
I love the skulls around here. And?
And nothing. Broken glass from bottles thrown against the walls of the pipe. A syringe.
Could we get into the Feld building through this pipe?
Given that this isn't a martial arts thriller, it's highly unlikely, and not without risk to our health either. However, the pipe suggests there may be an entrance to the basement around...
The lieutenant's face lights up. He doesn't usually notice these little things.
And it's right here.
Huh.
A maintenance door.
Okay, that's a much better option than the pipe.
It's jammed shut. The subtle approach isn't going to work on this one.
Okay, yeah, so all of my breaking and entering finally comes to use. I've broken into everything I've seen, and that's going to help me out here. Let's go for it.
The metal doors
Nice.
are heavy, and the flaking rust hurts your palms. But, together with the lieutenant, you manage to slide them open just enough to squeeze in.
Good work. Shall we?
Let's do it. And we are in. Okay. Wow, this feels like a big moment. Finally got an update to that quest. Okay, thank you. Thanks for the advice. I shall take out my flashlight. Now, what do we have going on in here? Pleasant. How pleasant. Okay. Oh, interesting. Nearly sealed the basement, eh? Hey, we got another skill point to replace the one that we wasted on that communist check. I think it's not wasted, but we did not succeed. Okay, this is a door to somewhere else, it looks like. See what's in the rest of this room first. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. Okay, there's a lot going on in here. It's a big area, huh? Okay, I mean, all seems very abandoned, as it has been for a while, but something has drawn us here. Interesting. I doubt it's going to be better than what we're wearing right now. Interstellary suit jacket, +1 suggestion. A muted brown suit jacket, perfect for a day at the office or an evening at a cafe. Yeah, no shot. I want my RCM patrol cloak. Thank you very much. You guys know I like that boost to our shivers. Alright, what's in this little crevice here? Oh, no, wait a minute. Okay. No one slept here in months. I thought this seemed a little more recent. And in fact, it may be more recently inhabited than the rest of the place, but still not super recently. Oh, nice. Hey, look at that. Revolutionary hat. Okay, now this is perfect for us, isn't it? I like my +1 to authority, though, but this is a hat that suits our ideology. Yeah, I believe that's Krasmazov. Hey, he does kind of look like us. I'm not saying we're the same guy. I know we went through all this before, but just a thought.
A mustachioed and mutton-chopped man, amateurishly depicted, gazes at you with sad eyes. A plaque reads, K. Mazov. There is a spiderweb in the lower left corner of the portrait.
Let's brush that dust off.
Years' worth of dust is shaken off. The full head of hair, matched by an ample moustache and sideburns, look a bit silly. Someone crouches, heels digging into wet sand. Hands sweep across the sand, grains sticking to the frayed skin of the fingertips. An old man sits on a slab of concrete and taps his fingers against the glass of a scope. You shudder.
What? Sometimes shivers is a little abstract, but I have no idea what this is referencing. Maybe some old revolutionary or something? Related to Mazov? Glass of a scope. Look, Kim, it's Comrade Mazov.
Yes, I can see that. Looks like some communists were hiding out here. They left a long time ago.
The lieutenant does not seem to share your enthusiasm.
Yeah, he's made that abundantly clear. How long?
Half a century? This was probably part of the network of defense posts the communards built against the amphibious landing. I think the purpose of this bunker was to produce propaganda. It would have had radio equipment back then, but that's all been looted.
What's with all these secret weapons caches and secret bunkers?
We have found a lot of those lately. I guess what most people think of as history tends to linger in rundown neighborhoods. Martinez being what it is, no one has gone through the trouble of cleaning out the old bunkers.
That's true. I mean, no one's really worked to preserve it. However, a lot of this history's still here. And of course, not that it's incredibly old history, but in a rapidly developing city, even a lot of this would have been cleared out, rebuilt. But here, you have these remnants of the past. I always think that sort of stuff is cool. I always thought it would be cool to go to some of these post-Soviet countries and see some of these old Soviet-era buildings that are now run down and have been left, just to sort of get a look at that era of history. You know what I mean?
Good hiding place for someone who's up to no good.
Right. Maybe I should move in here. Seems cozy.
I won't stand in your way, but only after we're through with this case.
That's so funny. I think I like my shack. Could it be connected to the Mazov bust we found?
Millions of depictions of Mazov have been produced. They're not all connected. Besides, that looked like some student. The youths always go for this kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, it's like a religious icon, just not quite religious, you know? You've got a bust or an image of Mazov. Though, you know, political ideology can get quasi-religious at times. The worship of these historical or political figures. Could someone have stopped through here recently?
You mean like Ruby? No, I think we've stumbled on a piece of history.
Well, that's the impression I was getting as well. Alright, let's see what else we have down here. Oh, some footprints. Okay. Well, that appears to be the right direction, so we'll see the rest first. You know, just want to clear the place out. Oh, interesting. Alright, let's see if we can get through that other door down there. Because I think we're getting pretty close to finding what we were looking for. If those footprints say anything. Oh, hello. Maybe this goes up to the ceiling where the ladder would let out. I always love a postcard. Martinez 98. A faded picture postcard from the end of the last century shows Martinez as it was before the revolution. It's the height of summer. Rue de Saint-Ghislain is teeming with parasol-wielding bourgeoisie, and wild pines flags buttress the walkway. Nothing is written on the back. Wow. It's interesting to find that here, huh? Isn't that counter-revolutionary propaganda? Okay. What's upstairs? Yep, I think I was correct. Oh yeah, we'll try not to fall. Taking my time. Yeah, we're high up. Okay, so yeah, this is where the ladder would have led up. But I don't think there's really anything else up here. I think we definitely chose the better way to get in. I was worried about crawling through sewage, but the maintenance hatch from Kim, good find. Alrighty, let's continue down that tunnel, that passageway we found. Everything's coming to an end. But maybe not everything. I guess we'll see. I don't know. The anticipation is building, at least for me. Buzzing sound. What does that mean?
There it is again, like a swarm of hornets buzzing under your scalp. A strange tingling you can almost smell.
Lieutenant, do you feel something?
No. What do you mean?
A pain, a strange tingling.
I don't feel it, but we should still be careful. There were footprints back there, and I'm pretty sure they were fresh.
Yeah, I saw them. Footprints with the right sole worn smooth.
Looks like our suspect. If she's in here, we need to plan our next step carefully.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking, I just got my gun back last episode. Is this the type of moment when I should have it ready? You know? I'm imagining, just given the kind of game this is, if I want to use it, I'm going to have it equipped. The magnitude of that decision does not escape me. That feels like a big deal. And to be clear, I guess I should say, I don't want to actually have to use it, but it seems like things are really coming to a head. Who knows? So what do you mean, Kim?
Once we detain a credible suspect, who knows what the Union and the Wild Pines will do? We'll set in motion events we have no control over.
Love to hear that. I feel like we already have set in motion events we have little to no control over.
You will upset the balance of power in Martinez. The deadlock between the company and the Union will destabilize.
Look, we've talked a lot, especially in these last few episodes, about what I think should happen, what will happen, what can we do to affect that, should we... What about Joyce and Everard and the Union and the company? There's a lot of that going on here, and of course we must think about that, but what I'm gonna say is that my number one concern, since we learned about the situation, has been and remains preventing a massacre, right? That's what I'm trying to do. And I suppose the idea here is for us to solve this crime, for us to detain a suspect, and to hopefully use that to prevent these crazed mercenaries from committing a massacre, right? I mean, I believe that's basically what Joyce said to us, is we need to find someone who did this crime. Now, is Ruby that person? I don't know. She's our best lead, but that's my goal, is trying to fully, or at least partially, prevent violence frankly, regardless of the wider political consequences, though those are very much in my mind as well.
This part of town is a fine clockwork puzzle. Disturb its peace, and it will start breaking down uncontrollably. Keep calm. Go over the whole situation in detail.
Well, we know Everard's true intentions and his plan for Martinez. What more is there to do with the Union?
I don't know. Little things. But you're right. We've gotten everything we can from the Union. We even did the Bosch thing.
Oh, is this like our point of no return? Where Kim's like, hey, think about everything you had to do.
You've been very, very thorough there. Your fingers approve.
We at least kind of solved the strike deadlock by telling Joyce about the Union's plans.
I still don't think that was a good idea. But yes, our affairs with the Wild Pines are in order, since she isn't in Martinez anymore.
You know what, Kim? You seemed pretty unsure in that moment as well, so I don't think you know what was or was not right.
Someone's been a very busy boy. Good on you.
How bad do you think things could get?
Well, we are not responsible for what we can't predict, are we? I don't think the entire city will be razed to the ground.
Oh, well, that's comforting.
Let's try not to worry, he thinks. If you can't predict it, there's nothing you could have done.
I guess to a certain extent, but we really do need to think about all the eventualities here. So what do you think is waiting for us?
I think I see a cavern. Maybe more cellars? I think we've been careful enough. We still have the element of surprise.
I wouldn't be so sure. You haven't exactly been sneaking.
Great.
Or maybe not. Either way, once we go deeper, there will be no turning back.
Hand to his holster. The thing is, for me, I cannot equip or unequip anything during a conversation. If I want a gun equipped, I need to have my gun equipped. Which is what I'm gonna do, actually. I don't know if it's a wise idea. And frankly, I might unequip it before we even get to the confrontation. But for now, that's what I'm thinking.
Holding the gun feels natural and satisfying. It's like an extension of your arm, the polished wooden handle almost fusing into your palm.
I think my hand recognizes this.
It reminds you of the day you first held it, with fear and respect, hoping you don't have to use it in vain. The sun was out in Jamrock. It was so long ago.
Well, I'm hoping now I don't have to use it, maybe in vain as well. And I'm very well aware that having a gun, and especially having it out, increases the chances of violence happening. I guess that is true statistically, but I don't know. I'm very worried here. I'm concerned. I'm like, I feel like I should have it, but who knows? Maybe I'll make things worse. I don't know. I'm unsure, basically. So who knows?
Sheathe your sidearm, officer. A serious law official, cop by the book, should know to only unholster their service weapon when using it is unavoidable.
Okay, jeez. I think it just told me to sheath it. Okay, I will. But I may unsheath it before this confrontation. Okay. Well, I guess we'll see. See whatever I have to be ready for. What's going on over here? It feels strange. What? Oh yeah, that almost slipped my mind a little bit. What is this like buzzing feeling I have? What is happening? There's the pipe. A polar anorak. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Gift from La Revacholière. A gift from the city. Oh, interesting. I actually might equip that. It's got my beloved shivers, but instead of esprit de corps, it's composure. Which, I'm getting the feeling could be important. Nice. Yeah, maybe we'll keep this on then. Layers and layers of polyvinyl and artificial sheepskin make this coat ideal for traversing snowy plains on dog sleds. Somehow you knew it would be waiting for you underground in a sunken pipe, and you found it. It's as if the city gifted it to you to keep you safe. I mean, Come on, I've got to put it on now. With that sort of description, I think you're telling me something. Is that La Revacholière has gifted this to me to keep me safe. And I am not one to turn down a gift. So yeah, let's put on the jacket.
Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. A strange pain, like you've never felt before. Through the static, you hear a woman's voice.
What the hell is happening?
It's like 1,000 radio stations are being blasted into your head all at once. But her words are the only ones you can make out.
Oh no, I wasn't ready. I ran right into it.
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. Don't move too much or fight it. That'll just make it worse.
What is happening?
Can't say it's a pleasure, officer. I was really hoping not to make your acquaintance. But here we are.
Get the gun back out! Get the gun back out, come on now.
The voice coming through the whirlwind of pain is not malicious. She doesn't want to hurt you, but she has to.
Does she have to? It's unclear to me that she has to.
Doesn't wish to hurt you, not according to your ear canals. Wait, no, not even your ear canals. This is going directly into your neural pathways.
It seems a little futile, but cover the ears.
No, buddy. That's not going to help. You can't shield yourself from this. It's an entirely new type of experience. Way worse than all the previous ones.
Well, we've got a lot of healing, but our health bar is low.
Don't focus on the pain. Focus on doing your job. Tell her she's under arrest.
Okay. It almost feels a little futile in the moment, but you're under arrest.
Really now? Check this out.
You're overwhelmed with a new surge of violent static. It feels like a blood vessel exploded in your brain.
Are you gonna kill me too?
No, I'm not going to fucking kill you. If that had been my plan, you'd be dead already. All things considered, I'm being pretty reasonable here.
It doesn't feel reasonable. Damn it. I should have kept my gun out.
I'm using a pale latitude compressor.
Well,
you and your partner have been caught in its field.
It all comes back to the pail. I knew it. It all comes back to the pail.
The explosion of static you're hearing is the ULAN frequency, blasted from that pale emitter that Angus mentioned.
I saw your equations. It's the ULAN frequency.
Saw my equations? You've been sniffing through my lorry, right? I expected as much. I am a bit surprised you knew what you were looking at.
What is your problem? What is happening here? Why? What? Just can't understand. Even if you're the one who orchestrated this whole thing, first of all, what is this? How do you have this technology? Why are you so desperate to prevent us from reaching you? Why not just run away? What is going on? I feel like we're missing so much information here.
A pale latitude compressor is used to sort of make the pale more manageable. With a lot of these, you can force a radio signal grid on the pale, literally crunch the distance across it.
Well, great.
Signals are relayed across a series of repeater stations fixed to buoys. Not a fun job manning those stations. All alone out there in the pale, people lose their minds in just a few years.
And what is this doing to us?
So, what we are experiencing is a concentration of radio waves.
Precisely. This is an industrial strength paraboloid. It's meant for forcing dimensions on something that doesn't have them. Needless to say, the frequencies used are out of this world. At the upper limit is the large prime number generator station. It's used specifically for pale latitude compression. That's why you may be hearing some numbers. But you might also hear, or think you're hearing, local radio chatter.
Oh man.
She's been holed up in here for a while with no one to talk to. Keep her talking, and you just might get an opportunity to break loose.
I'm a little worried that the longer this conversation goes, I'm gonna be using up all my health items. You know what I mean? Like, I can resist for a while, and I'm glad I stocked up. I mean, I knew something was coming, not this, but I can only hold up for so long. I guess I've also got skill points, so I could boost my health if I really needed to. How did you get your hands on this?
I built it myself.
And she's proud of it too, as she ought to be. This is way beyond your ability.
You are a psychopath, a torture machine. That's exactly right. You have built a torture device.
That's illegal. I'm guessing it's patented. But we are beyond that, aren't we?
I think we're far beyond that, Kim.
Oh yeah. Way beyond.
Have you experienced the compressor yourself?
Yeah, I stuck my head in there before using it on you. It seemed like the ethical thing to do. Can't say that I enjoyed it. The field was weaker, but I can imagine what you're going through.
Ethical? I don't think any of this is ethical. Yeah, this is all great, but let's talk about the man who was killed.
Yeah, let's not talk about that shit. You were hunting me and fell into my trap instead. That's all there is to say about it.
I feel there's a lot more to say about it.
So she thinks of you as hunters, not the cops, and of herself merely as prey.
I mean, I'm thinking of you as someone who potentially committed a murder that we're trying to solve here. I guess in that dynamic, we are hunting you, but you could say we've got different views of the situation. Will I stay like this forever?
No. Once I shut down the compressor, the pain will end. It may take a few minutes for you to steady yourself, though. It's a bit like waking out of a very confusing dream.
This is gonna have long-term effects, because I feel my brain is already addled enough. Local radio waves. He doesn't even want to answer questions from us. This is loud. Oh, this is loud. Could you just turn it down so I could ask you something?
If you've got something really important to say, you can do it through the white noise.
Great.
Turn this.
God damn it. Fine. If you really want to talk, I can dial it down. I've also got a gun, by the way.
Oh, well, that's great.
The gun she's carrying is a 2-barreled front loader, not like the murder weapon.
Okay.
Well, it doesn't feel much better, but you can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt as much.
I mean, we found bullets in her shack, so I feel like I sort of expected her to be armed.
Just keep her talking, and you'll get through this.
Well, well, well. Not bad, eh? I feel like we should ask the questions first. Well, also, she's might shoot us. Uh-oh, what do we do here? I'm armored. Okay, well, ask questions first, and then we'll take action. Of course everyone knows everything we do, okay? I realize that, but in fact, let's ask the important question first, in case we're limited. Did you shoot Lely? That's the whole thing. Frankly, I still have my doubts that it was her. We have evidence that it was, but we also have evidence against that the shot may have been from further away. I got really stuck on the piece of information that there was no sort of sound, even any muffled sound of a gunshot, but, you know, we don't know. Did you shoot him?
No, I didn't do it. I only helped stage the lynching, though I doubt that makes much of a difference to you.
Well, if it's true, it makes a difference. It depends if it's true or not. Now, I don't know to believe you. She says she didn't.
Who ratted me out, by the way? Was it Titus? No, he wouldn't have broken first.
You're right. Klaasje was first to share her suspicions.
Oh, I knew the kitten had claws, but not like this. But she couldn't have known I was on the coast. How did you find me?
Well, your first guess wasn't entirely off.
Titus and his boys, man. They told us you were on the coast.
Yeah, you were betrayed by everybody, okay?
Even now, Kim is a paragon of professionalism. He is trying to make a clean cut of telling her she was betrayed.
That's so funny.
Well, fuck. Those guys liked me, I know it. If this is what happens to people whom people like...
A dull despair is creeping into her voice.
That's right, maybe it's just better to give it all up. Just let us take you in, okay? If you didn't do it, then no harm will come to you. And even if you did, no harm will come to you, to be clear. Well, actually, I guess I don't really know the laws. I know we execute people. Anyway, what I'm saying is, if it's not you, I promise you we'll try and figure out the truth. Now, I know that's sort of hard to believe coming from a cop, but we are far from a regular police officer.
How the fuck do the rest of you get by?
I don't know if I want to say that. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I want to, like, enforce her fear and worry here. I did it by asking questions, and I have some for you.
Like what? I already told you I didn't do it.
A strong moral compass. She still wants the opportunity to make a case for herself.
Okay, well, I'm feeling quite under threat right now, but, do you have an alibi for when he was shot?
Man, I was with the boys the whole night. I hope they at least bothered to impress that upon me.
I mean, there's, I think, about 15 minutes unaccounted for.
Yeah, and I'm sure they also made some funny remarks about it. They always do. I've driven a lot of long haul and chugged a lot of beer, man. Can't do either without some power of mind over bladder. And anyway, that wouldn't have been enough time.
Our investigation has shown that 15 minutes was just enough time to commit the murder. Yeah, I believe it is enough time, actually. Just barely enough. Now, that does not mean you did it, but means you could have done it.
Wow. Now I'm curious. Please, explain.
There's a secret way from the first floor of the Whirling to the roof.
Don't know it, but also...
Evaluating your competence as a police officer.
The shot couldn't have come from the roof, or we would have all heard it downstairs.
Well, that's kind of what I think.
She has a point there. No one mentioned.
That's what I've been harping on for a while.
That didn't go super well. You've got to lay something better on her.
Well, okay, but here's the thing. I don't know if she actually did it. Like, I'm not necessarily trying to pin this on her if it wasn't her. Actually trying to find the truth. But obviously I don't know what she's saying is true or not. And I also don't know if she can give us a better lead. She has a gun, but we've already heard that it doesn't match the shot from the case. Okay. Maybe we'll go for these last few. You liked Klasia a lot.
I considered her a good friend, yeah.
Are you a girl like her? What a question. Is peeping one of your hobbies?
I'm not following your clever insinuations, Detective.
Klasia said you may have used the peephole in her wall to spy on her.
Damn. That girl's pretty, but not that pretty. In fact, no one's pretty enough to waste time skulking about the Whirling, drilling holes in walls.
Is that true? I don't know. So you haven't been watching Klasia through a hole in the wall?
Nope. Look, she has an effect on people. That je ne sais quoi that makes it impossible not to look at her when she walks into the room, and very difficult to look away. But travel enough and you realize, for the same reason that she's everyone's type as an object of desire, she's not irreplaceable.
Hey, drama. I'm wondering if you could chime in a little bit. I could maybe use some guidance. But you wanted to be more than just friends.
Oh, so that's where you were going with this.
She said you wanted to run away with her.
That's a very sentimental way of putting it. We both had pasts we didn't want to catch up with us, and we enjoyed listening to music together. Why not go on a road trip?
The lieutenant watches her expectantly, occasionally shaking from the pain.
Okay, fine. I was into her. Claudia was into me too for a time, I know it. We even fooled around once. And yeah, after that I thought maybe we could make a go of it.
Claudia only said they maybe kissed. Someone is lying here.
Okay, drama. I like that. Colossi only likes buff men. We don't know if that's true. Colossi said you only kissed.
If that's what she wants on the record, so be it. I'm not about to go into details for you to jerk off to later.
Seriously, just move on.
Yeah, fine. What happened then?
She rejected me with some wishy-washy bullshit about how she was confused because she felt so close to me and valued my friendship so much, and how guilty she felt for leading me on.
I mean, she's seems to be being relatively straightforward with us. Now, does that equate to truth? I don't know.
I knew that wasn't the whole story, but thought, fine, I'll take it and move on.
No ill will there. It wasn't a problem for her.
Okay. Colossi said you got very angry when she started seeing Lily. Threatened her.
Yeah. One time when we'd both been drinking, I said some heated things about how dangerous her patterns with men were. I was a little worried she'd blow it out of proportion in her head. All the drugs she was doing can make you feel like you're living in a DeLorean tragedy.
And despite everything, you helped her by staging the lynching.
Yeah, the girl seemed terrified. The merc was beyond caring what happened to his mortal coil. It was a no-brainer.
Well, I want to know more about that night. So is it the case that Claudia came to you and then you sorted it out?
Go ahead. It's your body.
Uh-oh.
And mine too, he thinks. But keep on. This must be done.
I feel bad for myself and Kim, but I know Kim would want me to keep questioning until we get an answer. Or something at least, because I'm feeling like we're not getting so much, mainly just denial. You like to hang out on rooftops?
Who doesn't? Oh, you probably mean Claudia's rooftop. Sure, I've hung out there. She's got this great antenna.
And what's so great about her antenna?
It's very powerful. I used it to tune into RCM frequencies. That's how I knew to be prepared for your arrival.
Right. Okay, but there's so much I feel like we don't know. Like, according to, maybe we get to ask her about this, but if we remember, according to Titus, she seemed particularly afraid of us. Meaning more than just, oh, the cops are in town. Like us, Harry. She was terrified. Why? What is happening? Is that the only reason you hung out on the roof?
The view's pretty bomb, too. But you might say the antenna was the main attraction there, yeah. Along with Claudia.
So you're sure you didn't shoot the merc from the roof?
Yes, I'm sure. And anyway, as I said before, the shot had to have come from afar.
I mean, I think that's possible, and I am kind of inclined in that direction, but I don't know. You're running, I don't know if this is that related to this case, but you're running drugs for the Union. I've been through your lorry.
So, Heart of Gold Tommy fucked me over too. Never trust a musician.
Sorry, Tommy. Yeah, everyone betrayed you.
That really comes as a blow to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that figures. What now? You're going to arrest me for drug trafficking?
She's more upset than she lets on.
Oh, interesting. Okay. You're a criminal. I can't trust anything you say.
That's your prerogative.
It's your prerogative to tell me the damn truth and stop torturing me. Our guns aren't out, though I kind of wanted mine to be. You had a financial incentive to kill the merc.
Man, it's to get away from all that murderous shit that I left Jamrock, my previous employer, for the Union.
Oh god. Uh-oh, Kim.
She deliberately avoided naming the mob she worked for. You might be able to find this out later.
Later? Is there gonna be a later? Will we survive to a later?
I got lucky being a dispatcher. Never had to do any of the really dirty work myself. This gun has only been used for self-defense against serious scum.
There's an up down a millimeter. It seems like Kim is really suffering. Maybe Harry here, you know, our body's just such a mess already that we can take the beating.
There. It's going to be easier to reach the machine now.
I'm not gonna say that. That's only gonna put her on higher alert. But you're threatening us with it.
Based on what I've heard about you, you are serious scum.
What have you heard about? This is what I want to know. What have you heard about me? You have a gun. Yeah.
And?
I see it's a front loader. Do you have another gun somewhere?
Sure don't.
A breech loader?
No.
This is such a wipeout.
Where'd you get it?
The gun store.
What gun store?
Triggered Happy Jacks.
Really?
What did you think? That I'm going to squeal on my gun supplier? Sorry, I'm not that kind of gal.
We know what kind of gun it is. Do you maybe collect old rifles?
No, they're not practical. Break too often.
Okay.
Yeah, evidence.
I'm not sure how she'll respond to this one, but I'll ask it anyway for the sake of completion. Would you say that Lely was a likable person?
I didn't like him. Hardened mercenaries aren't particularly likable types.
I mean, I agree with you. Did you feel protective of the Union?
Yeah, sure. And I didn't like Wild Pines sending in those foreign hirelings. Me and a fuck ton of other people around here.
I will say, once again, I mean, I'm not a lie detector, but, you know, I don't think she's giving us the runaround in the way Klasia was, with a bunch of half-truths and made-up stories and omissions. Now, Ruby's definitely omitting some stuff, but she's admitted a lot of things here. Now, she hasn't admitted really any involvement with the murder, apart from staging the hanging, but she's admitted a motive, a relationship with Klasia, a lot of things. You know, so now, maybe she's a real master manipulator, and she's being honest to make us believe her. But from what I can tell, at least the information we know and we can corroborate, she is largely telling the truth. Now, once again, she could be lying on the important stuff, but it's just something I've noticed as we've been talking to her.
She didn't hate him, okay?
There's nothing more personal you had against him? Perhaps his way with women?
You think I was envious of his conquests? Look, pussy's not a problem for me, and definitely not a reason to off someone.
Yeah, you seem real swell.
I'm listening.
Okay, let's take a step back.
Yeah? Where?
More questions before doing anything.
Interesting. I mean, you know, we're at the max here, right? This check isn't going to get any better. So now I'm a little concerned because I want to ask as many questions as possible, but also I don't want to lose my opportunity to smash this thing, because that might be our only chance to take her in. Though she's also armed, but I'll tank a bullet to the chest. I'm armed, or I mean, I've got armor. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if she knows, but 4 and 5, I'm really interested. So what happened Sunday night? Why don't you tell me your version?
She eyes you warily, as though gauging your sincerity.
It's okay. We just want to...
Oh, poor Kim.
All right, don't kill yourself over it.
You're killing
I was
us!
shooting the shit with Hardy and the boys over a few beers, like always. Then Klasia comes in, all pale and shuddering. She sits down with a drink, trying to steady her nerves. So I grab a seat next to her.
What'd she say?
She asked me to come upstairs. The merc she'd been going with was lying on the bedroom floor, dead. I knew she couldn't get the authorities involved, so yeah.
I mean, this is one version of events and a pretty believable one, right? I mean, it's either Ruby does the murder, and then she sort of gets with Klasia and is like, hey, let's cover this up. Or Ruby's none the wiser, and this is the first she hears about it. I think this is very possible.
You made it look like he'd been hanged.
Flashy said you seemed to have a plan prepared when you got there.
What? No. Faking a lynching was her idea.
Oh, shot. Her? Really?
Yeah, in cold blood.
Oh,
it really
no.
surprised me how quickly she was able to get a hold of herself once we got up there. It was like she was another person. The party girl was gone.
Okay, great. So now either Ruby is lying and throwing Clashia under the bus, or we've been lied to by Clashia again, and I didn't even realize it. And to be honest with you, I'm feeling like the latter is more likely, just given Clashia's track record of not telling the truth.
She asked me to help her drag him into the shower so she could wind the shower head around his neck to fake lividity. Then she dressed him while I went to get the Hardy Boys.
Glacia knew exactly what she was doing. You can't remain calm under pressure otherwise.
That's bad that she'd be so calm.
Yeah. I wasn't sure whether to admire her or be disturbed.
Right, now back to this question. Do you think she killed Lely herself?
As I keep telling you cops, we didn't hear anything downstairs. No gunshot, nothing.
That is a key piece of evidence, the smoking gun, you could say. Yeah, okay.
But even if this is true, weren't you worried this lynching might lead to...
War? The thought crossed my mind. But the mercenary's death was going to have repercussions either way. Although the way things are going...
She doesn't want to talk about this, but not because she has something to hide. She doesn't want the guilt.
Then we should, I think, push that guilt.
Fuck it. I'm not responsible for these people after what they did to me.
I don't know about that, okay? Yeah. And I don't want her to say, well, you're cops, of course I hid. No. No. This is more than that, okay? There's clearly a lot more going on here. If you didn't kill him, why hide?
I saw you roll into town.
No.
I wasn't about to stick around for questioning by a goddamn La Puta Madre agent.
So this is what she was scared to tell
What?
Titus. This cop.
Sorry, what? She thinks I'm actually an agent of La Puta Madre? What do you mean?
Yes. You. Everyone says you're his peon. His human can opener.
What?
Through the sudden sharp pain in your head, you hear the lieutenant mumble something to himself. Fucking hell. And why me? You hear through the noise. It's especially bad suddenly. Felt like a vein exploded.
Bullshit, you're trying to throw me off. No one says that.
Oh, yes, they do. The cops, the criminals. Why do you think I'm holed up in here with a goddamn death ray waiting for you?
What is this? We've never heard this from anybody else.
If she knows that about you, she must know your real name too.
That's funny. Tell me, then, what's my name? If you know that about me, you must know my name.
Harry Dubois.
Uh-oh.
One corrupt motherfucker with the disco pants and a funny tie. Agent to La Puta Madre.
What? Wouldn't Kim have known this? Come on.
Did someone mention a fucked up tie? I call bullshit! You're too crazy to be corrupt!
Honestly, we are.
So she knows your name. That doesn't mean you're on the tape. Criminals make up bogeyman stories about cops all the time.
Yeah, so, okay. I'm a little skeptical because wouldn't we have heard this from somebody? We haven't. I don't know. But if this is true, that she has heard this, then either we actually are an agent of the underground, the underworld, or we have a reputation of being that for some reason. I don't love either of those. I've heard of La Puta Madre. He's dangerous, right?
Is that a joke or a threat? I'm guessing both.
I'm sorry, I know I'm supposed to know all about this, but I lost my memory recently.
Yeah, sure.
She doesn't believe you.
I'm sure La Puta Madre himself will explain it all to you soon enough.
What did you do to this Madre anyway?
You've been to my lorry. You think the biggest player in Jamrock appreciates competition? And now I have Harry Can Opener in my lair. Fucking Titus.
Hey, even if I am an agent, I don't remember it anymore.
She's not going to change her mind that easily. she still perceives you as a threat.
What if I leave and we just have him do it?
Wait, one thing, possibly small, but she said you rolled into town. Was that you singular or plural? She might know something.
Okay. When I came into town, was there anyone with me?
Yeah, you had your death squad with you. What happened to them anyway?
What? Who was in this squad?
Well, it wasn't this scrawny dude. You had 2 guys and a lady. The guys looked pretty buff.
Oh.
Lady wasn't bad either.
Oh no, this isn't good. Oh no, our past is catching up with us. We rolled into town with a squad. 2 buff guys and a lady. What else can you tell me?
One of the guys seemed chipper, a blonde. The other had a brooding something or other about him. And the woman was the only one in uniform. All were carrying.
Okay, well, these sound like my colleagues, I believe. Perhaps, I think at least 2 of them are the 2 colleagues that came to visit us in the Whirling. It was Jean, who was our partner, who's very grumpy, and Judith, I think was the woman's name. I don't know about the other one, but I think, yeah, those are my colleagues from the precinct. They're police officers.
That sound about right?
No idea who these people are. Literally.
Well, maybe I'm wrong.
Satellite Officer Vicmere looks out of the window grimly, then puts his coffee down and turns to Patrol Officer Miller.
Yep.
We could either take a room here in the Whirling or go home for today.
I knew it. It's those 2.
Let's go home, Jean. Nothing's going to happen today, she responds quietly. Jean takes his blonde wig off. Call Heidelstein. He can give us a ride.
Wait a minute. Am I making this up? Or was not that guy we talked to outside the Feld building Trant? Was that not his name? Or am I losing it? Maybe I am. I swear to God that was his name though. Huh. I think I know them. I definitely know them. They're in Martinez.
Friction, lock, set.
Don't leave me here. Please delete.
Fantastic. I've got to get on the road. Then you can go find your friends. Unless you have anything pressing to ask me.
Who killed the Merc if it wasn't you?
How should I know? As I keep saying, he already had a bullet in his head when I got to him, and there hasn't been any useful gossip over the radio.
Those rings around her eyes, her tired voice. She's been staying up late, listening in on the conversations crisscrossing Martinez.
Police radio? You've been following the case?
Who hasn't? You know, I can still see him there, in Claus's room, lying on his side. He was still warm, but the bluish light coming through the broken window made him look as though he'd been dead for a good long while.
Didn't we already ask this? How she knew we were coming?
I heard you in the passages, and I've been preparing for quite a while.
Okay, how she knew we were coming here right now? By hiding bullets under floorboards?
So you found my shack, huh? I'm not surprised.
Her tone is bitter. She thinks she's been betrayed.
You're desperate, aren't you?
I was. Before I caught you in the pale latitude compressor. I'm fine now.
That's her admitting the bullet was an emergency exit. It was dark in the shack. The waves outside had calmed down. She looked at the loaded gun. Then she cracked the barrel open and took the bullet out. Not today.
Alright, well, we're almost getting to that time. Do you know about the bunker next door?
What bunker?
Communist hideout.
Don't know anything about it. No one's been around since I set up camp. But I'm sure I'm not the first vagabond to...
Ow. Oh, man.
Keep calm. Breathe in.
Okay.
After the pain recedes, it's a little clearer.
Well, I will say I'm really glad I picked up all those healing items, because if not, I would have been screwed. I don't have a lot of health. These were necessary. We got another +1, but we're already... The check is as easy as it could be. You know, We started at that level. So let's try and destroy it. Nice. She's also armed. I think. Oh god. She's gonna try and shoot us.
You did it. The compressor lies broken on its side. It's quiet in your head again. It still hurts like hell, but...
Hey, Kim.
All good, officer. Be careful.
Jesus Christ. She's still armed.
She looks at the machine, assessing the damage. Her hand trembles.
Oh, fuck it.
No, 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 no. Oh, fuck. What are you doing?
Problem solving.
No.
Ma'am, put the gun down. That's not the solution to your problems. You are...
Oh, yes it is.
Oh, no. Oh, shit. God damn it. I didn't... God damn it. Rhetoric? Please don't let me down again. Where does that get us? We do one more. Oh, come on. Ah, screw it. What are we at? Okay, come on. Come on now, Rhetoric. Come on.
She's truly desperate. She thinks she has no other options. You need to give her options.
What options?
You know.
What, just let her go? Oh, man. Maybe I could talk her out of it?
This is how you talk her out of it. It's the only scenario in which she lives.
Great. Well, I guess, you know, I'd much rather have her escape than have her dead on the ground. You know, I mean, what am I gonna do? Great. Well, I guess you can go.
She stares at you, frozen, the gun still in her mouth, eyes filled with dark intensity. Then something shifts in her. Gratitude, doubt. She's still ready to go. Her neck and shoulders relax, and her grip on the gun loosens.
You don't have to do this. You're not cornered. I'm letting you go.
Day of miracles. I'll take it.
All right.
She runs past you, then past the lieutenant, and disappears into the darkness of the tunnel.
She used a Harry Dubois strategy, which is, instead of threatening to kill your opponent, you just threaten to kill yourself. And if your opponent has any empathy, they'll let you go. What am I? Well, you know, I'm not gonna let her kill herself. You know what I mean? That doesn't help anybody. You might as well live and leave. Now I'm a little lost. I don't know what to do at this point. I feel like we've lost our one and only lead, but you know.
Good call.
Did my best.
I would have done the same, had I not been incapacitated.
I mean, I did that because I didn't want her to die, but I'm not sure she did it. I don't think she did.
Her tent. We should check it out.
I mean, I'm really not sure at this point, you know what I mean? But, I don't know, it seems increasingly unlikely to me that she did do it, as far as I can tell. Oh, nice. Appreciate it. Money. Take a look at the tent. I guess at the very least she might have left something.
The plain red tent stands by dispassionately. It was pitched by practiced hands. She's used to camping out.
Alright, let's take a look.
The tent looks old, but well maintained. In the darkness of the tent, a rolled up sleeping bag, cooking utensils, some books, and a kerosene lamp. It reeks of cigarettes.
Let's take a look.
Assorted soft covers, mostly pulp horror. A motor carriage lies buried in the snow on one cover. On another, a ghost airship. You also see a collection of radio enthusiast magazines.
See anything?
Not really.
Rager Monthly, Journal of Material Science. More Technological Digest. One of the magazines doesn't have images on the cover. It's not a magazine. It's a leather notebook.
Okay.
You pocket the worn brown leather journal. A trusted friend left behind.
We should read this immediately, like right now.
Alright, understood, Kim. Understood. Hopefully there'll be something useful in here. Alright.
A thick journal. The cover is worn like someone used to carry it around in their back pocket.
Alright, let's examine the cover.
It's made of full-grain leather. The lower left corner of the back cover sports an embossed brand name, Schneller. This was important to her when it was still hers.
And now it's mine!
The journal falls open. About 2/3 of its ruled pages have been filled.
Alright, she was taking a lot of notes. Let's look at the handwriting.
The large cursive of someone who writes quickly and confidently. Perhaps too confidently. Many phrases and even paragraphs have been crossed out, with tiny corrections scrawled above and in the margins.
Yeah, I think she was too confident in her judgment of us, though. I guess we don't know our history, so I don't know. Let's flip through the pages.
It's a mix of logistical notes, diagrams, and personal reflections, all dated.
It's good she left in a hurry. We could learn a lot from this.
Wow, okay. What kinds of logistics?
Hard to tell exactly. It's mostly noted down in code. Looks like contact information, quantities, directions.
There could be useful information about local operations in those notes. We have a junior sergeant at my station who's good with codes. I can give this to her after we finish this.
Okay, how about the diagrams?
Esoteric radio technology. The most recent ones probably pertain to the latitude compressor.
Yeah.
Sketches, calculations of distance and density. You make out a familiar spiral shape.
How about that, by the way? That sort of got lost in the end there, but she literally weaponized the Pale, essentially. That's pretty wacky. Anything personal?
Short, wry observations of people and places. Probably a way to pass the time on the road. Also, what appears to be attempts to sort through some difficult decisions. There are a few passages with many questions in them.
Hey, she's like you, Kim, always writing in her notebook.
Staff issues. Always tough on the leadership. You smell traces of betrayal.
How far back do the entries go?
The first entry is from August 2nd of last year. It reads simply, I know my position is precarious. All I can do is make myself as useful as I can while looking for a way out. Remember, no one is indispensable.
I will say this is some corroborating evidence, which we don't really have for Klasia. What did she write the day Lely died? Yeah, what about the recent entries?
Nothing on March 4th. March 5th, though, well, that's bound to come back and bite me in the ass. I'm bad at this. Loyal to a fault. But that's another matter entirely.
Well, that's kind of vague.
You have no idea what she means. These are personal notes. Don't expect to understand all of it.
I mean, could have been the message of someone who just killed a mercenary for her friend, or someone who just staged a hanging to cover up a murder. Anything about La Puta Madre?
That name isn't mentioned as far as you can tell. Small wonder. Would you talk about La Puta Madre in your journal? You do see an M, though. La Puta Madre. M is mentioned on March 9th and March 15th.
Sure, let's read it.
Great. M's peon is coming to town. No doubt to investigate the lynching. But also, I feel it in my gut to finally put a bullet in my head while I'm napping in my lorry or on a smoke break. Well, I won't stick around just to twist my own neck by constantly looking over my shoulder.
Great, so she really thought... Oh, man. Now we need to find out if it's true or not.
Then again, isn't that what I've been doing ever since I got the call? The call? Did M call her personally? Why? Were you supposed to find her, even apart from the investigation then? On M's request? No, you wouldn't do something like this. This must be a mistake.
I feel it's a mistake. But I don't know that. I really don't. I feel like I wouldn't kill people for a mob boss. But I seem to have lost grip with who I was before all this.
The thought steadies your nerves. The journal stops shaking in your hand.
I guess, I mean, look, I'd like to find out the truth of the matter. Whatever the truth is, we're on a different path now, okay? Let's read the entry from March 12th.
Been holed up here for 3 days now. I'm used to being alone and all, but I don't know when I'll be able to leave, or if I'll be ratted out. They will rat me out, of course. I've made it a point to believe in the best in people, the boys, for example. But experience tells me...
I will say, to be fair, you know, I guess that they did rat her out, but I think I sort of convinced them that they were doing something good here, and I think they were. I mean, I think we're working together to solve this case, so I might frame it a little differently than just ratting you out.
Did M feel truly betrayed by me? I was feeling threatened. He'd have to know if he threatened people, they'd take measures to protect themselves. Even I know that. Economic measures, first of all. Gotta make a living, right? I can still hear his voice in the receiver. Taste the plastic.
Wow, she's got a direct, or had a direct line of communication with La Puta Madre.
The entry ends abruptly.
Alright, what's the most recent entry?
The most recent entry is from today. It reads, even when I leave here, if I leave here alive, what's my next move? Staging a lynching is a crime, even if I'm not accused of murder on top of that. Forever on the run. Not really my idea of the open road. Man, I was really looking forward to winning.
I mean, this, you know, doesn't really prove anything, but this does suggest that staging the lynching is the thing that she did, not the murder.
It looks like she might have been framed?
Yeah.
That would be a first, or a fourth. But who's counting, he thinks. Very rarely does anyone actually get framed.
Right. I don't know if it's good that we didn't catch her. Kim, am I really a La Puta Madre agent?
No, I don't think you are. Ask someone in your precinct if you want to be sure.
We gotta find that Heidelstam guy.
He truly does not believe you are. Perhaps he shouldn't be so trusting.
I don't think I am.
His trust is well placed. You aren't. You can feel it.
Good. Whether that's a false or a true feeling, we should hold on to that. That's good for us. If she didn't do it, then maybe it's good that we didn't catch her. I don't know about that, but...
I wouldn't go so far as to say that.
Yeah.
We have other reasons to arrest her.
She's definitely a person of interest in this case. I would have liked to have been able to question her in a less stressful environment.
Besides, I'm not sure her life as a fugitive is going to be much better than we does. Especially if she has problems with the Madre.
That's true. This is the question, and I feel like I'm out of answers. I have no idea. I feel like, you know, maybe I'm being needlessly hopeless. I felt like Ruby was our one and only lead, and we've now lost that. Where do we go now? Maybe Kim has something more. Who do you think killed the merc?
Clausia was the one who pointed the finger at Ruby. Perhaps she was trying to steer us away from herself, or...
I guess that's the next place I would go, but no one heard the shot.
Maybe she had an accomplice. Either way, we need to keep an eye on her.
I guess Clausia is the next stop. I mean, I think we found out that she lied to us again during this conversation. I shouldn't be shocked. But that doesn't really ring true to me, but maybe.
One thing is for certain. We have business back in the whirling in rags. Questions to ask. We should get to it.
Very fair. Sheesh. Okay. Yeah. Call your station to find out more if you dare. I don't know if I do dare, honestly. Return to the whirling in rags. Yeah, okay. Dark water trails into the distance. Can I... No, we can't look at that little machine over there. We got a skill point back. I know I blasted 2 into rhetoric there, but I was just really worried, especially since we had a -1. And rhetoric, I think it was rhetoric earlier that Feld does that communist check. I wanted to make sure we got it right this time. Okay, you know what? I think I'm gonna end this episode here. It was a high intensity, pretty high stress episode, to be honest. That whole engagement, my goodness. Well, we advance the main story I guess we advanced our main quest, but did we advance the case? In a way. I think we found out that Ruby's not the one responsible. It seems to me that she really isn't, but where do we go from now? I guess go back to Klasia? I don't know. Hopefully we'll find something else. I'm feeling a little listless with the case. Hopefully there's more to find. But, yeah, well, we found Ruby, confronted her. She attacked us with the damn pail. In the end, she got away, but I'd rather her get away than her die. You know what I mean? So there we go. That's the end of this episode. If you guys enjoyed this one, I'd appreciate it if you'd leave a like, subscribe. You can check out my Twitch, link down below, anything like that. I appreciate you guys following along, and I always like the comments everybody leaves. It's always interesting to see how people feel about different parts and how we all interpret things differently. Anyway, with that, I hope you guys are having a great day today, and I will see you all again next time. Goodbye.